Hello, today I'm going to be talking about PlayStation 2 hidden gems. These are games that may have flown under the radar, that maybe they weren't as popular as some of the big franchises. Or they didn't sell well, or a lot of people didn't know about them. They came out quietly, which a lot of games did. There were about close to 2,000 games released for the PlayStation 2 in North America, so here I go. First one is The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge, which is in a sense a video game sequel to the movie. It's very well made. Voice acting and the visuals are top notch. It's also available on the original Xbox, but the PlayStation 2 is, in my opinion, the better version. But the Xbox version is still good. I mean, it's still playable. This is what the disc looks like. If you enjoyed the movie, you will love the game. There's a ton of stuff to do in it. Even a lot of the minor characters from the movie are in the game, so I'm still playing it. Me and my friend haven't even beat it yet, so yeah, there's still plenty of stuff to do in the game. If you're a fan of Nightmare Before Christmas, or you want something different that's a little spooky but not over the top, then check out Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge. Next is a game that's, well, I call it a hidden gem because of one thing in it. It's called NASCAR 2001. And the reason I say this is a hidden gem is because it was the last one with Dale Sr. on the actual roster. You see his, sorry about that. His wife had him removed from the games, which wasn't right because people are going to want to play with him. I know I do. So it's the last one that you find with Dale Sr. on the roster. It's also available for PlayStation 1 and I think PC. They did sneak him in through a cheat code in a couple of other games like NASCAR 2005. You can drive as him. But for the most part, NASCAR 2001 is like really the last game where he's on the actual roster. And the game's about what you would expect for a NASCAR game. It's pretty good, but it's worth it just to drive as the man. So check that out. Next is Test Drive Eve of Destruction. This one's pretty hard to get. It's the best test drive game out there. It's like demolition derbies and demolition derbies, figure eight races, whip around races, things like that. You can drive as hearses, ambulances, 57 Chevys, is pretty much everything in this game. And what this game also has, which was a nice little surprise, is it has actual footage of these crazy races that they do. For example, they have these races where they will tow old trailers with old boats behind them, and they'll race around the track, and then the boats will just like fly off, and yeah, it's a kind of racing that they actually do. So y'all might want to check that out. It's definitely a great game. I mean, I got mine pretty cheap. Well, actually, this was given to me by a friend, actually. You can't really get it easily anymore. It's also available for Xbox, but because the game is the best test drive one, it's not really easy to come by these days. So I advise if you see it, grab it when you see it, because you may not get another chance. Dukes of Hazzard: Return of the General Lee. Has voice acting from the stars of the show, including John Schneider and Tom Wopat and Catherine Bach, as well as others from the original cast. So it's the game's really done well. The two on PlayStation 1, they were okay, but they had a lot of control issues. This game, well, it's not perfect. It's still better than that. The graphics are pretty good. You do a lot of stunts in it. You actually start, your first mission basically is you have the black Dodge Charger, and you got to go around the junkyard to find the parts to make it the General Lee, which is pretty interesting. You do like the overland races like they did on the show, so it's pretty cool. And yes, the flag's actually on the car. Came out long before that stupid controversy with the flag started. But yeah, great game, done really well. Again, this one's not. It's not too expensive, but it's not super easy to get these days. But it's definitely worth having if you've got a PlayStation 2. It's well, all these games that I mentioned are essential in my book if you're having a PlayStation 2. Downhill Domination. This is a mountain bike racing game that was done by the same company that made Twisted Metal Black, so you know it's good. The only problem it seems to have is the trick system's a little difficult, but you don't really have to do tricks in this game. So if you just focus on winning the race, you're perfectly fine doing that. The graphics are good. There's different bikes to choose from. It's pretty interesting game because there's not a lot of mountain bike racing. Well, there's not a lot of biking racing games in general, actually. There's not a lot of mountain bike ones out there. I mean, there's a couple other ones that I'm aware of. Like there was one on Super Nintendo that actually wasn't bad. No Fear Racing for PS1. Mountain Bike Adrenaline was the other one for PS2, which wouldn't have been bad, but they made the controls a little too difficult, and if they made it like this one, well, I'd probably still have it, but this one's fully playable. It's fun to play. It keeps you interested. And I definitely recommend it if you want a racing game that's different, that doesn't deal with cars or even motorcycles or something like that. Now this one right here. This one's called MotorStorm Arctic Edge. And you're probably wondering why I put a MotorStorm game in the Hidden Gems video. Well, this one was only on PlayStation 2 and not a lot of people knew about it. Everybody's familiar with the ones on PS3 or the ones that may have went out for PSP to some degree, but this was the only MotorStorm game that came out on the PlayStation 2. Came out in 2009, so it was a very late release on the PlayStation 2. But it's a really fun game. The control systems are... That was weird. The control systems are spot on. There's different vehicles. There's trucks. There's ATVs. There's snowmobiles. This game's pretty sweet, and I definitely highly recommend it. I mean, I love the MotorStorm series as it is, but if you don't have a PlayStation 3 and you don't have the means to get one, that game's not too expensive. It's maybe around $10 or so. It's a great addition to your collection if you want something different. It's not, just regular road racing. Stuff like that. Splashdown Rides Gone Wild. Now you see this on Metal Jesus' channel a lot, but it's there's a reason for that. It's everything that he says it is and more. The trick system's great. I love the different tracks. My favorite one is the Bermuda Blast, the Bermuda Triangle one, where it starts off as a beautiful sunny day, and then all of a sudden you're in the Bermuda Triangle, and there's like World War II planes dogfighting overhead. You got the aliens that comes and abducts people. Ships are everywhere. More ships keep dropping out of the sky. You even go see a ship that looks kind of like the Titanic, even though the Titanic didn't disappear in the Bermuda Triangle. If they did, they probably would have never found it. But nonetheless, it's a nice touch. It's a really fun game. I enjoy it. I mean, when I got another PlayStation 2 a few years ago, the one I got now, this is the game that I had to have. I just absolutely had to have a copy of this game. It's probably my top 3 games. Originally, I got it. First got it many years ago. It was part of a collection that had ATV Off-Road Fury 2 and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 with it. But this is definitely the gem out of it, those 3. I mean, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 is good, but this game is a lot better. So many fun things to do in this game. There's other Sea-Doo racing games out there, but this one's by far the best. I mean, I played Wave Race 64. I played the first Splashdown. I played Hydro Cross, which I have for PlayStation 1, and maybe a couple other games, and they don't match Splashdown Rides Gone Wild. You have to have this if you have a PlayStation 2. It's one you gotta have. You're probably another note before I go any further. You're probably wondering why I'm not doing any gameplay footage. Well, I'm gonna do that in future videos, but I'm trying to get my channel off the ground first, because I'm gonna do a lot of gameplay footage. But I'm not just gonna do little snippets. I'm gonna do actual. If I play it, I'm going to show you like a few tracks in like Rides Gone Wild, and I'll show you a few things in Downhill Domination. So be on the lookout for that in future videos. Next one is Midway Arcade Treasures 3. Now again, you're probably wondering why I included this. Well, this is kind of the black sheep of the 3 that they released for PlayStation 2, but in my opinion this is the best one because it has Hydro Thunder on it. It also has Stun Runner, San Francisco Rush 2049, Off-Road Thunder, San Francisco Rush the Alcatraz Edition, Super Off-Road, and Race Driving. So it's definitely and Badlands, sorry. It's definitely worth having. The first one is good if you like really, really old games, but I'm not able to play those really older ones as good as I used to, so I mean, some people can still play them. I mean, I still find Pac-Man fun, stuff like that, but well, those old racing games, they're hit or miss. I mean, some of them are still playable to this day, but some of them are there's like nothing to them, so that you can't really stay interested in it. But this definitely has interesting ones on it, so you can pick it up pretty cheap. So it's worth having, which is why I have it. It's also for Xbox and maybe GameCube. I don't know. I never had a GameCube long enough to worry about it, but it's a good collection. I had the Volume 2 collection, which had Mortal Kombat 2 and 3 on it. 2's got some good games on it too, but a lot of the games are available elsewhere. Like the Mortal Kombat ones you can get on the trilogy or the anthology or whatever, so that's hit or miss on that one. I mean, there's, like I said, there's a few good games on it, but some of the other ones are just, they're just on there. They're not that interesting. Next one is Jaws. Now, if you love the movie, you'll love the game. You can play as Jaws in this, unlike the original Nintendo NES version, where you had to basically go after the shark, and you were just like a diver or whatever. You can take out boats in this. You can take out other fish and like whales and stuff. You can attack swimmers. It's pretty cool. I mean, once you start playing this game, Jaws Unleashed, you're gonna play it for hours. Believe me. Every time I put it in, it's addicting. It's a really fun game. If you love the movie or if you love sharks, get Jaws Unleashed. Not a lot of people know what's out there, and I show it to people and their eyes bug out. Okay, so the last one I'm going to show you for today is this will be Volume 1. Is the Ghost Rider. This game came out when the movie came out in 2007, so it was a later release for PlayStation 2. Some people don't like this game, but I think it was really done well. If you like the movie, it was you can drive the motorcycle and stuff like that. You can use this chain whip, as you can see on the back here. What more could you want? It was definitely a hidden gem that not a lot of people played it. It was kind of flew under the radar. So, but it's definitely worth checking out. I mean, it's not for everybody, I guess, because not everybody likes Ghost Rider either. But if you want something different, it's not like a full-fledged RPG or whatever. It's really done well. I mean, I don't know why that keeps happening, but sorry about that. It's definitely worth getting if you got a PlayStation 2. I don't know how expensive the game is anymore because I haven't really looked it up. But this is going to be part 1 of my hidden gems for PlayStation 2. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will be doing more videos in the future, so please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Also, I'm going to throw this out there because I know that other gamers do this. I do accept game donations if you have any like PS1, PS2, or PS3 games that you don't want. I mean, if you're going to bring them to Goodwill or whatever anyway, just give them to me. I'll just throw that out there. I mean, you don't have to, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. I also have a friend that collects games too. His name's Steve. Anyways, thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. And I'll see y'all later.